Sohn0924 is a name that has been gradually attracting clout throughout the community since March 2016, when Cyclic Hack verified a rebirth of one of his forgotten old levels. Since this point, Sohn's career has attracted more interest from many, including gameplay channels, documenters, and from better players, to the point where his four most famous levels have now all been reborn, legitimately verified, rated, and now sit scattered in the top 50. Sohn0924, also known by his real Korean name, Who Dark, is known to have created some of the earliest extreme demons in the game, though information on him is scarce and most barely know anything about him. But is Who Dark really as mysterious as the community holds him? Well, today we are going to be going back to the very beginning in 1.2 and to cover Who Dark's entire Geometry Dash career and hopefully answer some of the biggest questions around one of GD's most mysterious players to date. This is the story of Who Dark, also known as the creator Sohn0924. Who Dark began playing Geometry Dash in the 1.2 update, much like many early Korean legends in the game. Unlike Majako, who played around with the game to find his calling, Sohn started as a creator straight away. GD's editor was, of course, limited at the time, and there was not much creators were able to do with it. Sohn released a few levels with his own brand here and there, including H Polargeist, a Polargeist remake with H standing for Who, the climax and the ability, but none of these were ever really noticed or successful, and so Sohn's creating career quickly took a backseat. However, in 1.4, Who returned to the community and started making levels again. Not only this, but he also joined Touch Arcade, the early forum where users were able to connect with RobTop before the community became saturated. He asked RobTop to take a look at his early work, but only the climax was rated. It is likely Sohn found a glitch or bug in the GD update which he used to verify his early 1.2 levels, which was patched in later updates. The lack of information makes it hard to know what happened next, but after this it is believed that Who Dark might have lost his account or accidentally tried out a new update, and so returned to the game under a new account, and would revisit his creating career. He made a few new levels, including the Chaos and the Climax version 2. This time around, he did not ask RobTop to rate his levels, instead he would begin creating a map that would spark a torrent of controversy around the Korean community of Geometry Dash. In 2.1, most people know the very basic story of Sohn's most popular series, the Hell series. However, as is being unearthed and restored even now by the remnants of Cypher and Stormfly's team, the Hell series actually has far more depth than most know about it. The series began with the Hell Zone, uploaded on the 8th of January 2014. With suspicion growing over the legitimacy of these maps, he uploaded a screenshot showing the level and over 1,000 attempts in 46 minutes to verify the level. When accused by PG1004 of not being legitimate, Who said that his mother called him and he paused the game, which caused a huge amount of time to be spent on the level. A shallow, shady excuse that would eventually return to haunt him. Again, Sohn returned to Touch Arcade and asked RobTop to rate his new level. The resulting feedback from RobTop is actually one of the few remaining traceable pieces of evidence of this occurring. RobTop expressed concerns that the level would be too hard for normal players, especially with the infamous first jump in the level. If Sohn updated the map and eased it up a bit, he would reconsider, and so Who updated the level after that, and as promised, RobTop reviewed the level again and it was rated Demon. The first installment in the Hell series, and already arguably Sohn's best return on a level project, this likely wouldn't be the last installment in the series. Someone else who was shrouded in mystery in the Korean community was Sari, who took a keen interest in the level. As with many near impossible levels throughout his career, Sari claimed to have beaten the level. Inspired, Who decided to continue the Hell series in order to create more maps to challenge Sari himself. As a result, soon after, the Hell World was released. This level was dedicated to Sari since he claimed to have beaten the Hell Zone. Naturally, Sari would attempt to beat this level, but it seems it was to no avail this time around. At this point, people started requesting that Sari make proof videos to back up these claims of victory over such hard levels. Sari responded by saying the recordings would be too long given the time that would be required to invest in the level. Again, Sohn asked RobTop to rate the sequel and RobTop obliged. The second Hell level was out and was rated. The Hell Dignity was the third map and was released on the 24th of January 2014. All of this had happened within a 2-week period, back when level design did not take weeks and months. Once again, Who requested that his third level be rated, but for the first time ever he was ignored. He He attempted to contact RobTop several times after, but never received a response. Sari made his presence on the level known by commenting "God." Such contact from him on GD was a rarity. We cannot be certain of his association with the level, but we could assume that he tried it but simply found it too hard to bluff his completion. A week later, the fourth and final level of the Hell series, well known to the community today, was released, the Hell Origin. This was by far the hardest level, bordering on the humanly impossible. The Hell Dignity had still not been rated, and so Who went to touch Arcade yet again, this time with requests for 2 levels to be rated. Tired of being ignored, he asked RobTop again, and finally RobTop rated the levels, but gave Son some much needed advice on what made a good, rate-worthy level at the time, with insight from Darnok himself. After this, Who Dark became almost a meme within the community. Given his newly established connection to Sari, many around the community joked that Sari was the angel and Son was the devil, who continually created new Hell stages for Sari to pass. The Hell series became pretty well known at this point, but its levels also fell into negative like ratios and became one of the most disliked series by unanimous ratings. Here is where the common knowledge of the Hell series today ends, those 4 levels, that were revisited in 2.0 and gradually have just finished becoming one of GD's most recognisable and best series of extreme demons, by Stormfly and many others. At the start of 1.6, he started building a 5th level named the Hell Inferno. Only a small preview of this was available on the server after the mining of Son's account took place, thanks to a cheat engine tool that allows people to swap user IDs to access accounts. Through this, more lost levels were discovered, including a small preview named the Hell Inferno RE. The text says "Hell Come," which was a poorly translated way for Son to tell people that this level was going to be released a bit later. The final release confirmed this, with the first 4 levels being released so close together, but the Hell Inferno preview's level ID was a full 200,000 level IDs away from the Hell Dignity. Interestingly, you can see an angry face built at the end. We can only speculate as to why this was there, as we know barely anything about the level, but there is an assumption that this may have been because the level accidentally got deleted, but this is nowhere near proven or confirmed. There was also another level planned, named the Hell Field, which was revealed on a post about Sari's own Hell Zone remake on the forum. However, we do not know if this was definitely planned or not, but a 6th Hell level isn't outside the realm of possibility. There is a level that was previewed by Stormfly recently named Hell Field, but this was a tribute level built with Son's style, but there was never any actual gameplay from Son himself. People had been suspicious of Who Dark for a long time, but it wasn't really until 1.6 that people started to outright accuse him of hacking and exploiting bugs to verify the levels. The main cause for the suspicion was a screenshot of the level editor Son posted. Many noticed he was using a 1.2 editor. Where was Son, a well-known creator, using an editor obsolete by a full 4 updates? Many inevitably deciphered that he may have been doing this to take advantage of the practice mode bug and other possible verification glitches that had been patched since. After this, a test was done to see if it was possible to still upload levels onto a 1.6 server on a 1.2 client, and it was confirmed possible. Crepuscule, the creator of the infamous level Dynamic on Track, also was suspicious of Son using the practice bug a long time before this. Even Roadbows, who would release Ice Carbon Diablo X in this update, weighed in on the controversy. At this point, the community was becoming divided. Note the cultural differences here. The Korean community are much harsher on hackers than Western communities are. That's why Exotic and Sari were most likely too scared to confess. While some didn't mind the possible illegitimacy of Who Dark, others wanted him expelled from the community. Despite becoming a meme of the devil at one point, Son had managed to put some clout behind his name, and his fans and followers couldn't believe that this figure they had been talking about in the community for some time now was a fraud. The day had been coming since the first Hell series level, but on April the 26th, 2014, Who Dark was officially exposed. A player named Reflection posted all the accumulated evidence against Son he had collected. Reflection first pointed out problems with Who Dark's 1000 attempt Hell Zone screenshot, saying that the background should have been blue if you had beaten the Hell Zone legitimately, as you would have triggered a blue toggle. As the background was black, this suggested the use of a bug exploit. He also did some maths and determined the amount of jumps couldn't possibly fit the amount of time, determining that every attempt would have taken around 2 seconds each, given that the total time was 2,880 seconds for a 1,580 attempt run, which raises a lot of suspicion too. There was also evidence around the jumps and some other irregularities. The argument of his mother calling him was revisited too. PG-1004 pointed out that even if he took a break, he wouldn't end up with that time, meaning that the level that was screenshotted as proof was most likely not the real level, which was also suggested by the background irregularity too. All of this led to Who Dark being banned from the Geometry-Web forum on the 1st of May 2014. The proof was all solid and accepted quickly. The community had a reputation for being bad at exposing hackers before the mute trial in 1.9, but this proves otherwise. The Korean community moved in quickly, and there was growing suspicion, and they acted fast, ending Son's career in a matter of days. This banning caused a lot of controversy among the Korean community. The official reason for his expulsion was because he had neither confessed nor apologised for causing such a stir. However, nobody saw it coming that he would be completely expelled from GW. The community was divided, and even Reflection, the one who exposed him, felt bad about the massive repercussions of his actions. After this, Son's levels were eventually unrated, as a staff member from GW emailed RobTop requesting that the levels be unrated. For the time being, his career was finished, and while some were on his side, the debate would die down and be forgotten about fairly quickly. For a while, everything was silent. Son was unheard of, and though people still occasionally talked about the events, it seemed as if Hugh was not coming back. However, one day, the former world number 1, Lunisimg, made a post on the forums on Who Dark's behalf, explaining the situation and apologising to GW for what happened. The message was roughly translated by Repel, the leader of Team N2, and I have put it into proper English. This is roughly what the message reads. Hello GD users, I am Who Dark, or Who Bug as some of you might have called me. I was so deep into GD that I made a level I couldn't beat, so I have to be clear, I beat the Hell series with a bug. I'm really sorry. It happened because I thought if I couldn't beat the level, there might be an expert out there who can, and maybe I can become famous. I have already quit GD, and I would like a chance to make levels again without the glitch, but I don't want to play the game I ruined for myself. Sorry for everything, some believed me until the end, but I used that trust. Again, I'm very sorry for using the glitch and other stuff. I was looked down upon a lot, which has made me think about it. For all you GW members, I found the 1.2 glitch and I am the one who used it. I am sorry for everything. Essentially, the idea of making so-called impossible maps was realised by Son once he discovered the bug in 1.2 editor. It gave him the opportunity to be unique and become famous. Eventually, however, he had come to realise that he should have made legitimate levels he could beat. After this, the amount of dislikes on his levels skyrocketed. The reality of trying to be an illusion of a godlike player that people like Neptune and Sari pulled off in later updates had hit home. Who Dark was keen to make new levels without using the bug, but still felt that he might be tempted to cheat again. While people wanted him to return, given the controversy he had caused throughout the saga, he decided not to return in order to make the issue easier on everyone involved. He still felt guilty about abusing people's trusts, and this aided his decision. After this, Who Dark was gone. Nothing more happened, all his levels remained unrated, and his career was officially over. Despite the occasional mentions on the forums, he was to be forgotten about and left in the past for some time. At some point he was becoming more famous during 1.9, the Korean legend and god of the community, Cyclic, ran a Q&A. One of the questions was, what's the hardest demon you have ever beaten? Remembering that this was after the Cataclysm victory too. Cyclic's response was the Hell Zone. Many had no idea what this level was, besides a few Korean players like Cosine who had been present in the loop for the Son drama, which was now pressing a year on. Cyclic claimed this level was harder than Cataclysm, and so people started investigating it, and it led to some people researching the level and getting some decent progress on it. The level briefly received attention but died soon later. Later that year in 2.0, RobTop ran a script which deleted a lot of levels. The Hell Origin was one such level, and only 3 Hell levels were left. It was restored, however, thanks to a player named Prostar who saved a copy of the Hell Origin to create an auto in 1.8, and this is the same way we found Stereo Demon SX, using autos and removing the automatic pads in order to revert the level to its original form. This brought the Hell series back to the community, and Jacob220 quickly made a cut replay of the lost level. In early 2016, Cyclic returned to the prospect of the Hell Zone by using the original level as a layout and remaking a level in a 4-person collab with Koreaqua, Ryan LC and 1234. Cyclic did this as a big flagship project for his growing return around the turn of the year, and determined that he should release a timing level as no big timing levels had been released in a while. The remake looks amazing, and this was second only to Bloodbath in difficulty at the time. and it received attention quickly. However, as most of the community knows, this level was verify hacked and it soon led to Cyclic's confession, which effectively ended his dynasty he had worked so hard to create since 1.5. It's strange, the Hell series had damned Son and somewhat damned Sari, and now it had claimed a third mysterious Korean legend in the form of Cyclic. It didn't take long before the level was picked up and re-verified by Stormfly. After this, I released a documentary on the 4 levels in the Hell series, and the remaining Hell levels returned to positive like ratios as a result of the watchers flocking to the old levels. A huge influx of people wanting to rebirth these old levels emerged. Originally, Andromeda was planning to lead the next rebirth with Stormfly and others. He even commented on the original level, but this comment has allegedly been deleted. However, Andromeda took too long to decide what to do to initiate the collab, and so Stormfly, who was part of the original team, restarted the collab and turned the Hell world into a mega collab. It was his hardest ever project, verified towards the end of 2016, and it was groundbreakingly difficult, being the hardest timing demon on the list, and even placing above Bloodbath in the top 10 demons list. Not even Black Blizzard was able to trump this level's difficulty when released. The next step was the Hell Dignity, but this was already in progress by another player, Overowned. He started a remake of it, but unfortunately had to focus on school, and so he dropped it. In mid-year of this year, after Stormfly waited for a new PC, he picked it up with the Hell series design team and rebuilt most of the parts with a few improvements, and re-verified the rebirth of the Hell Dignity. This was slightly disappointing as it was nerfed and placed far further down the list, but nonetheless all that was left was the Hell Origin, and finally, a few months ago but only rated recently, the Hell Origin was released and now sits above Bloodbath in the top 25 of the demons list. The 4 original Hell levels have been rebirthed, restored and verified, and now mark one of GD's most recognisable series of extreme demons, but there are no plans to stop here either. Having in mind the revenants of the Hell Inferno and the Hell Field, these are the next steps. The Hell Field is not actually a real Son level, but was built more as a tribute with Son style gameplay when they found him getting exposed on the forums, but we may have to wait a while for this as Stormfly pursues other projects. But one day we will see the next steps extending Son's legacy. Thanks to the creativity, drive and determination of Stormfly and a small team of old community enthusiasts, a simple month's work of illegitimate levels by a mysterious Korean player has been revived and developed into one of GD's most exciting and ongoing levels series. It's interesting to see the effects of the butterfly effect, from events that happened in early 2014, having an impact on the community almost a whole 4 years later on. This is mostly forgotten Korean community folklore, but it doesn't mean it wasn't a damn interesting ride. So that's the story of Who Dark, also known as Sohn0924, with all the information and possible sources we've been able to unearth since the beginning of his career. Before we end on this, there's a few people I want to thank, and a few people I'd be grateful if you could show love and support to. I'd like to thank Stormfly and Jacob220 for providing gameplay and taking enough of an interest in the beginning to show me and the rest of the community these levels. I'd like to thank Repel, the Team N2 leader, for translating Son's message. I'd also like to thank Overowned for helping out and attempting to preserve the legacy of these levels long before the community became interested. Finally, I'd like to thank Cypher. He was the brains and mastermind behind this video. He did all the research and created a project for me to turn into a video. The depth of his research and knowledge is unmatched, and I believe he should pursue his own career on YouTube for this sort of thing, as his research was better than mine ever could be. The final thanks goes to you for watching this. This easily goes beyond the Majako documentary as the biggest and most large-scale GD restoration project of all time, and until we come together again to match it, it will stay that way. I hope you enjoyed the video and learning more about the mysterious foregone community. If you did, please help the video out by leaving a like, and if you're new here, if you could consider subscribing to me and the channels I collaborated with to make this video possible, who are all linked in the description, then it would really help us out. Thanks a lot guys, I'll see you all soon.